If you're focused on your performance inside of the gym or your performance as an athlete, nutrition is the utmost important thing that you can focus on. Hello, I am hybrid athlete and health coach Andy Andrea, and I am so excited to have you here today. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And guys, we have the Wildwood 100 that is officially 2 days away, and I'm getting everything squared away. I went through the race details with Grace yesterday, and I'm getting my nutrition ready today, and I'm gonna be walking you guys through what I do, how do I prep for a 100-mile race, what do I bring, how focused is my nutrition, and we're gonna be diving in for you guys. Like I said, this is my third 100-mile race, and guys, each time I learn something new. My goal is to do a sub 24-hour 100-mile race. My ultimate goal is 22 hours, so that would be finishing around 4 a.m. Sunday morning. And when I finish at a sub 24-hour 100-mile race, that will be cutting 4 hours off from my previous best. I will go into all the things that I learned in another video, but for now, let's focus on nutrition. Now, first thing is first, the most commonly talked about thing when it comes to energy, body energy, exercising, working out, performance, is carbohydrates. Now, consuming carbs before, during, and after your workout is so important because the muscle primarily operates off of glucose. Glucose is your most simple form of carbohydrate. So the more carbs you consume, the more fuel your muscles have to tap into, and the longer that you can do the specific movement or exercise that you're looking to do. When you don't fuel your body with carbohydrates, what happens? Are you just out of energy? Is that it? Not necessarily. So your body can pull from protein and body fat that is stored in the body. However, it goes through a very inefficient process to make that protein and that body fat into glucose to be used as energy. So that is why the best thing that you can do for strength, endurance, speed, is make sure that you are giving your body the carbs that it needs to operate at a high level. The next thing that we focus on is electrolytes. Now, this is one of the most overlooked aspects of nutrition, and I'm so grateful that it's coming into the spotlight now because of how important it truly is. You see, when people think about hydration, we just talk about water, rightfully so. Water is another very important aspect to make sure that the muscle has what it needs to operate at its best. But with that being said, the muscle cannot utilize the water that's there if it doesn't have electrolytes, and specifically sodium and potassium. Now, to keep it super simple for you guys, in order for the muscles to contract, there's something called the sodium potassium pump. And what this does is it allows water to come in and out of the cell. In order for this process to happen, you need 3 sodium molecules and 2 potassium molecules. And these two working together help the muscles contract, water flows in and out of the cell, and when you're utilizing the carbohydrates, it has a quick form of energy to make that transition happen. If you are not fueling properly with electrolytes, this could lead to muscle fatigue. This could lead to impaired cognition, specifically with the 100-milers due to how long you're running. It could impact muscle contraction, nerve impulses, you name it, guys. It's really across the board, just so important to make sure that we utilize sodium and potassium. Now, for me, what I do is I target at least 1,000 milligrams of sodium and at least 500 milligrams of potassium every hour throughout the race to make sure that I'm fueling my body properly with the electrolytes that I need. I will be drinking caffeine throughout the race. I will drink a protein shake twice throughout the race to make sure that I'm giving my body the amino acids that it needs to hopefully prevent bone and muscle breakdown. And I will also be consuming a red and greens powder that I will go through with you here shortly. First, a main source of carbs and potassium that I consume consistently throughout my runs is fruit. Watermelon, banana, clementines, you name it. I don't have them with me right now because I want to get them as fresh as I can, so I will be getting them tomorrow night and pack them away for Saturday. Now, fruit is my primary source of fuel, but I have some things that I utilize throughout the run to change it up and also as an emergency as well. First, we'll go through Precision Fuel chewables. Mint and lemon. Guys, these taste phenomenal. I'm going to be completely honest. I do not utilize Goose, which is more of like the slimy type of like quick form of glucose. It just doesn't sit well with me. I don't enjoy using them, so I go with the Chews instead. They have an original flavor. However, I'm using the mint and lemon because it tastes so much better. And I always eat the lemon first. I end on the mint so my breath can taste pretty good while I'm running. Keep in mind, these chews have no electrolytes. They are 30 grams of carbs, which is the minimum that I'm going to consume within an hour to hit my energy goal. But these are a staple for sure. Next, I have 1st Phorm's Power Bar. Guys, this is a whole food bar, and it is my favorite bar on the face of this planet. Specifically the peanut butter one, although the double chocolate one is pretty good as well, and I'll be utilizing that throughout the race as well. This is 280 calories. However, this is different from the chews because it does contain 300 milligrams of sodium, a very small amount of potassium, and it's something to take into consideration when I'm consuming this because it does have electrolytes in it. However, it's whole food, it's clean ingredients, staple. Next up, I have 1st Phorm's Ultraformance, and now this is specifically, it's like a liquid, you're drinking it down, it's giving you carbs, it's giving you electrolytes, and it's one of my favorite, and I absolutely love it. So this does have 19 grams of sugar, 24 grams of carbs, which is right below the minimum. You know, pairing these two together or pairing these two together would be amazing to do. I forgot to let you know. These have 21 grams of carbs, so these two together would be 45 grams, and you would be set for that hour. In addition, this has from sodium chloride, it has about 480 milligrams of sodium, has some potassium in there as well. Let me double check, 200 milligrams of potassium, and then it has a hydration complex in there as well. So I know that I'm covering all my bases when I'm utilizing Ultraformance, and it's one of my favorite ones to use. Lastly, for the calories, I will be using my post-workout stack, Formula One, and Ignition. I'll be pairing these two together. I put 2 scoops of Formula One, 1 scoop of Ignition. I drink it at the 50K mark and then the 100K mark as well. So mile 32, mile 64, I will make sure I get this in. This is very high in potassium. This right here has 400 milligrams of potassium. And then for this one here, you have 300 milligrams for 2 scoops. So 150 milligrams per scoop. For women, they would take half, so they would take 1 scoop and a half scoop of this as well. Now, the reason we're pairing these two together, obviously, again, that's 700 milligrams of potassium. That's a high level of potassium. In comparison, it's about 100 milligrams of sodium and 10 milligrams of sodium here. So you're really not getting that much sodium in comparison. So it's important to make sure you're still tackling sodium, which we'll go through in a moment. However, with these two combined, I'm getting in 42 grams of carbs here. I'm getting in 40 grams of protein here. And like I said earlier in the video, the protein is to help preserve muscle, help preserve bone to the best of my ability, because I don't want the body to be utilizing protein, the foundation of our body, as fuel throughout the race. And that's why we're tackling with carbs and protein as well. And then this is a quick form of energy for your body. It's rapid digesting, so the body can utilize both of these very, very quickly. And this is going to help replenish what's lost in the muscle and help max out the glucose so that my body can still remain optimized throughout the race. That's why we're doing it a little before and a little bit after as well. From here, I want to tackle my favorite sources of electrolytes throughout the race. Starting off with LMNT. LMNT, it's 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium. There's a little bit of magnesium in there, which is important. However, I utilize magnesium every night, so it's not a concern for me. LMNT comes in very different flavors. Complete transparency, I need to use half a packet in each of my shoulder pouches so that I can stay hydrated throughout the race, because when I put 1 packet in 1 bottle, it's way too salty. And it warns you all in there. It actually says salty as fuck, if I can be completely transparent. However, Element is a staple for me. I put half in just so that I can handle the taste. And when it is at manageable levels for the sodium, the flavors are actually pretty good as well. Watermelon is great. Citrus is another one. And raspberry are my 2 staples. Those 2. There's orange, grapefruit. There's all these different flavors. There's some corny flavors, I'm not going to lie, like mango chili and chocolate caramel, that I'm just not cool with salty-wise. So I just stick with the fruity ones. Next, we have BPN electrolytes. BPN has 500 milligrams of sodium, 165 milligrams of potassium, and this is a great alternative to the LMNT to kind of change up the taste, because it does taste different. It tastes less salty, a little more sweet, and it's just good to utilize, as it still gives you about 200 milligrams of potassium, but still hits you with 500 milligrams of sodium as well. And again, this Has minimal calories, maybe like 10 calories. Yeah, 10 calories. 1 gram of carbohydrate, not too much that's going on there. LMNT, it is, I believe, 1 calorie, if that. So these are less calories, more electrolytes. I then have First Form Hydration Sticks, which is a 250 milligram of sodium and 500 milligrams of potassium. So it is higher on the potassium side. However, in situations, as I get later into the race, my body starts to reject food as of now, which I'm going to go through in a moment. However, I still want to have a drinkable source of potassium just to make sure that I can cover those bases when I start to fall off my nutrition, consuming fruits and things along those lines. We're going to see where I am with that. However, this is always great to have as an emergency in case I run out of potassium or if I want to change up the flavor of something, which again, we're going to go through here in one moment when we hit on caffeine and other things like that to keep me awake. Lastly, I do have electrolyte tablets. This is Reviver electrolyte salts. However, complete transparency, Precision Fuel has their own electrolyte tablets that are phenomenal. So after I finish these, which they're almost out, I'm going to be grabbing the Precision Fuel tablets just because of the electrolyte panel, and I enjoy their company. I know they're clean ingredients. And so, but this one specifically, we have 99 milligrams of potassium and we have 225 milligrams of sodium, so just over that 2-to-1 ratio that we look for. I usually house 2 of these, but at every aid station when I see Grace, I'm going to be taking 2 of these along with other fruits. So I'm hitting sodium, I'm hitting potassium from the fruits, and I'm getting squared away with that. So this won't be something I carry in my vest. One thing that I found out at the New Jersey Devil race is that when you have them in your vest and it rains, it can muck up the vest a little bit and just not look good. So I'm going to have these in the van, and so when I see Grace, I'm going to be taking them down. Now, as we're getting to the end, guys, we're staying up for 22, 24 hours straight, and so how do I stay awake? Well, I consume caffeine throughout the race. And my first source to go through for caffeine is Megawatt from First Form, and it's important to remember, guys, these have electrolytes as well. So to put it in perspective for you, Megawatt has 140 milligrams of potassium, 90 milligrams of sodium, and it's important to iterate that so that you can take that into consideration when you are managing your electrolyte intake throughout the hour. Now, Megawatt, it can be served as a pre-workout. It can be served as like an energy drink because it does not have beta-alanine, which gives you that jittery feeling. It just helps you with mental focus. It helps you with energy production. And for me, it tastes good. I absolutely love it. Cherry Blast has been my favorite as of recent. But so I'll be utilizing this. And the great thing is you can mix them together. So maybe I'll mix up the Megawatt with the Ultraformance, or Megawatt with the BPN electrolytes or the hydration stick, just to mix up the flavors, to keep it interesting and not be drinking the same thing over and over again. So we have Megawatt here. Next up, we have Endoroformance, which is a non-caffeinated form pre-workout from First Form. But guys, this does have beta-alanine, so it can help with that jittery feeling. And I'm going to be utilizing this, which I don't really utilize when I'm not in a race. I utilize this in a race because I'm not used to the beta-alanine. I only use it on race day, so I've only drank it twice this year. But I'm utilizing it now to get that jittery feeling, to keep me awake. And plus, Endoroformance has ingredients to help with your blood flow, to help with prevent muscle fatigue, so that you can run as Endoroformance for a long period of time. But also to keep into consideration, it has 195 milligrams of sodium and 72 milligrams of potassium, and it's important to take that into consideration, similar to Megawatt. Last but certainly not least, for the caffeine, we have First Form Energy Screamin' Freedom. This is one of their new flavors. It's a solid flavor. I'll have this and I'll have Citrus Blast for the race. This is given 200 milligrams of caffeine. I believe Megawatt is 150 milligrams of caffeine. However, for First Form Energy, we have another 150 milligrams of sodium, 250 milligrams of potassium, and these just taste phenomenal. They're clean ingredients. I enjoy the taste. I enjoy how it makes me feel, so I'll be drinking these throughout the race as well to help keep me awake. Now, earlier I mentioned to you guys about the gut issues that I have throughout the races. Now, my first 100-miler at the Hainesport 100, I threw up at miles 62 to 64 around that point in time. I didn't show up with any salt, with any electrolytes. I didn't show up with any fast digesting carbs. And so my brother made me a smoothie and put so much salt in it that it made me throw up. Now, the next time, the New Jersey Devil 100, I took my green and red superfood drink before the race, and I didn't throw up until about mile 72 to 74. So it helped kick the can down the road a little bit. However, I still threw up. Similar situation. I just knew that I was sick of having electrolytes, and so I chugged an Element. When I put the whole packet in there, so it was super salty, I threw up again. And so this time, I'm drinking my green and red superfood drink before the race and at mile 55 to help kick that can even further. And I use Opti Reds and Opti Greens 50. Opti Greens 50 is specifically for gut health. It helps balance your blood sugar. It helps promote your gut health, and it helps promote digestion as well, which is something I'm going to need because when you're running for a long period of time, the blood flow is pushing away, or the blood is being pushed away from your internal organs to your arms and legs, hence fight or flight. And in that situation can negatively impact digestion, as I've experienced the previous 2 races. So I'm going to be taking this twice throughout that time. Then we have Opti Reds, and we mix these 2 together. These are the to-go sticks. However, we do have some that are like for a house. However, for the Opti Reds, this is great for blood flow, which can help with cognitive function and can help with muscle endurance. It's also great for your heart as well. This is my nutrition game plan. This is how I'm going to be tackling the Wildwood 100, guys, and be aware, stay tuned for the 100-mile documentary coming within the next few weeks. I cannot wait to share that journey with you guys. And don't forget, if I provided you value in this video, please send it to one like-minded friend or family member, like the video, and subscribe so that we can continue to spread our mission of pursuing personal excellence through the art of running and mastery of the mind. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. Check out our old videos. Stay tuned. We got a video every single Monday, 9 a.m. And I cannot wait to share this Wildwood 100 journey with you guys.